Hi, we're just heading out today, and I just wanted to show you part of owning a Connie Corso. You can't even drive without them being right on top of you. Aren't you a good girl? She's gonna be a good girl. But we're on our way to go out to Algonquin Park again today and have a little bit of fun just with the Livi. The Livi! Oh, baby! We'll see you when you get there, because she's just gonna bug me and I gotta pay attention here. Alright, we're a little over an hour down the road. Yeah, she hasn't moved. This has been the whole drive. Sometimes sleeping behind the shoulder, but it's, yep, this has been the drive. I'm gonna love this thing. I have a cage, as you guys have seen, but she just crawls around it anyway, so it is what it is. Hills with Mike, and today we're at Big Pines Trail in Algonquin Park, Ontario. Alright, so Livi, our King Corso, this poor little girl, I guess our old dog, the Bordeaux, she was about 160 pounds, and they used to play with each other and slam into each other, and she ended up ripping her knee one day and took her to the vet. And, you know, they told us what it was going to cost to fix it, and we had to put it aside for a bit. Unfortunately, they said sometimes they heal on their own, but pretty much nil chance on a large breed dog of it healing on its own. So we started saving up, and in the meantime she was back out there with the dog running around on one leg and slammed into her and broke the next one. Well, didn't rip the next tendon. So she was unable to walk, so things had to be sped up a little bit. And borrowed a little money on the house and ended up taking her in for surgery. Now after her surgery, I'm just gonna have a little drink. Well, that probably doesn't taste too good. There's probably something better along the way. Alright, so after her surgery we took her into the doctor's, complaining that, you know, she wasn't really getting up and just laid on the bed and did pretty much nothing. And he said, oh, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Blah, blah, blah. Took her back about maybe 3 or 4 times over the next year, and they were like, well, sometimes this just happens, and you know, there's always going to be a bit of pain there. And well, why bother getting the dog fixed if she's just going to lie on a bed the rest of her life? So anyways, fast forward about another 6 months or so, and she got a bad infection in her knee. So we took her in and to the original vet that did the surgery on her, and he said her plates were causing infection in her knee and had to be removed, or it was going to keep getting infected. So thank God this guy gave us a bit of a deal, but he ended up getting the plate taken out, and all of a sudden we had a puppy dog again. It was night and day difference. So we went back on a checkup and talked to him, because even after her surgery she was being more active than she had in the last 2 years. And, you know what could have happened. And so they most likely put a plate on her nerve, and it was just causing her excruciating pain, and she did nothing. So kind of terrible to find out that way and have her go through the time like that. But at the end of the day, lucky we, no, I hate to say lucky she got it infected, but it kind of was. And she went in for that surgery, which wasn't cheap, but as I said, he gave us a pretty good deal. And ever since then, she's been unstoppable. just been this nuisance upon nuisances. Although she does get a bit of anxiety, and like she'll bite on a sheet or something like non-stop. But in general, she's a completely different dog. She comes out of the room during the day and sits with the other dogs. And just been pretty much an angel. Now, one of the downsides one of the downsides of it was this was when she was young, of course, when it happened. So she never got socialized. And it's been a real nightmare. She got a bit of socialization from, you know, certain people she knows, but if someone comes over the house she doesn't know, it's, you know, is she going to eat them type of thing. So of course those you gotta really go over of getting them socialized while they're younger, because now it's a nightmare. We are getting better. We walk usually about 5-6 kilometers a day with me and her. And what we got up here, we'll get back to this. We got something here. This is probably a really old tree that never got cut down. Any plaques or anything? 3. Let's see what we got here. Post 3. How to grow dry. This is the biggest pine you will ever see on this trail. It's 122 feet tall. Hey, where are you going? This way. Stop! Come on. And I guess there's people there. You're not fully socialized. Livy, stop. Come on. Stop it. Livy. Livy, stop. See, this is what I'm working on right now. She's gotten better, but she's still not perfect. Before she'd be barking like crazy. So, what are you doing? Come on. A huge significant improvement, but nowhere near where she has to be on. And if we pass another dog, oh boy. So there is stuff that, you know, I'm trying to socialize her now with, but it is more than difficult to do it when they haven't done it since young. Been allowed to get in this mindset where everything's a danger. Oh, here we got a little creek. What we got going on here? Oh, just a, no, it is downfall. Just trying to figure out how to get there. She wants her water to go. What do we got on the path here? Do we got a blockage? Oh boy. Ah, there's a lot of mosquitoes out. But anyways, back to the Liv Meister G. Whoa, careful baby. Can you get through there okay? Alright. So, she is getting better. But she's probably the most protective dog we own. Out of all of them. She's the one that I always have to caution that, you know, people don't get to, which is not very nice. So I'm working my hardest on it. It is an effort, especially with 4 other dogs. You'd think they'd all get you know, along with other dogs being around so many, but no, doesn't work that way. Come on, Livy, don't you dare. Let's be a good girl. See, she's a lot better than she used to be. I'd still be dragging her along from these people behind us. And here we are on the other side of the old logging camp. Can't even make out what it was. A little bit more foot conscious. But yeah, I don't know. Looks like there were some walls or something that have just Gotten a bunch of stuff on them now. Yeah. It's an old logging camp. We'd never know that. Probably wouldn't even know it if I ran into it. Wouldn't even think anything of it. Alright, I'm gonna say we just ran into another big pine tree. This thing is pretty big. I don't know if I'd say it's probably about 3 feet wide. Ew. Ew. Now, so far this walk is pretty much just been a walk through the forest. Nothing overly exciting. An abandoned log mill. And here we go. This looks like about one of the more difficult parts of the walk. Which really isn't that bad. Alright, that was a walk at Big Pines Trail. Not very exciting. Probably wouldn't not go through that one again, as there is limited water. Here, Livi. Alright, you get a drink? Okay. This place really sure has water.